Welcome back to the NFAREVIEW channel, everyone. It's been a while since we had an upload, but of course the weather in Florida has not been cooperating. So I said, screw it, let's go ahead and film anyway. If I had to get wet out at the range, that's exactly what we're gonna do. Today's review is on the YHM Turbo K. Now, many of you have already seen the original Turbo review on my channel, and it gave a really big bang for the buck. And I wanna make sure that this little guy can perform just as well. And it's even cheaper than the original Turbo. So if it does perform like intended, it's gonna be pretty awesome value out there on the market. And it's no surprise if you're not new to my channel, you know that I actually like the smaller K cans and the micro cans because they're just fun. You know, actually you can see it here on the wall. We have the smaller versions here. I think once you kind of go down the road of having the full-size can and you've experienced max suppression levels, it's kind of fun to kind of dabble in, you know, the fun little cans like you see here. So let's go ahead and see if the K is still good as far as suppression. So let's go ahead and get to the details. We'll cover the specifications, what makes it tick on the inside, and then as usual, we'll hit the range, see what it sounds like. All right, let's go ahead and open the box here, see what we get. Manual right on top, don't need that. Looks like it's packaged really well. It's gonna come with a fixed 1/2x28 adapter, and then of course the Turbo with their QD adapter and one flash hider mount. Let's go ahead and clear our work area here of all this unnecessary stuff and cover the specifications. Now when I talk about the two different lengths, of course one is shorter than the other because you do save about 1/2 inch here with the fixed barrel adapter versus the QD. So I'm going to go ahead and just rattle off those numbers so now you know how to differentiate between the two. So starting off in the shorter fixed spacer configuration, the Turbo K comes in an overall length of 4.9 inches and 10.5 ounces. And then when you're using the QD adapter system, it's going to bring the length to 5.5 inches and 11.7 ounces. So still under the 12 ounce mark in the full QD configuration here. As far as the finish, looks like a high temperature black Cerakote, just as the original Turbo K that I already reviewed. And as far as the materials, same thing, all 17.4 heat treated stainless steel, everything here. Everything on here, 17.4 heat treated stainless, save for the 718 Inconel blast baffle. So that's going to bring the firing schedule to full auto and the minimum barrel length requirement down to 10.5 inches. That is a lot of performance in a can at this price point and in this size. So pretty cool to see, especially with, and I'll throw up some close-ups here, this nice tubeless design, which is where they save a lot of their weight, and the welds are very beautifully done. I'll get some really tight shots here and see if you can see the welds through the Cerakote. Very clean looking can too. I actually prefer my cans less busy. Okay, you don't need to throw milling all over the front and everything. I just like that more you know, professional look to my suppressors on my rifles. Now as far as decibel reduction, you're probably wondering what a can this small can do. And as tested by YHM with the QD mount on, they got 134 to 136 range on a 16-inch barrel using 55 grain. And then the same ammunition, same configuration on the can, they got 138 to 140 decibels as tested on a 10.5-inch barrel. So that is right at the OSHA threshold for instant hearing damage. So 140 is max. This can needs to be a hard look at anybody out there making purchasing decisions for law enforcement agencies. Now, don't jump the gun yet. Let's see how it performs out on the range, see what the tone sounds like. Let's see if it overgasses the gun or not, if they designed it in a way to prevent overrunning of the bolt carrier. But as far as on paper and as far as the price goes, definitely going to be a consideration if I was making those decisions, because this on the end of a SWAT team or even just a patrol rifle, shooting a 10.5-inch or a 16-inch rifle indoors can be very detrimental to your hearing, and wearing ear protection while making entry in a hostile environment is detrimental to you. So I would definitely want this on the end of my gun versus wearing ear protection or something longer. So definitely take a hard look at that. Before we jump the gun though, we can't make any decisions till we hit the range. As far as price, I know we mentioned price a couple times in this review so far. This retails at $465. But of course, street price is always different. At the filming of this video, Silencer Shop has this on sale on their website for $355. And that comes as shown. So you get the one flash hider mount with the adapter system, the Turbo K, and the 1/2x28 fixed barrel adapter. So that is a lot of stuff for $355. I mean, you're damn right near the price of the tax stamp itself for something that is technically hearing safe. Now, of course, this is not going to sound as good as the full-size turbo that I already reviewed. I have it on a 10.5-inch factory stag arms here, the one I used in the other review. I actually like this setup. You know, we all have crazy setups and fancy ARs and stuff like that, but there's just something about KISS AR-15 platform, very basic. It's just lightweight, it's easy to run, and just never runs out of style. So I decided to keep this one as set up. So what we are going to do for this review though is run this suppressor on this rifle. I had a request from a patron on Patreon that I do test this suppressor on a 10.5-inch because it's a suppressor they were looking at for their 10.5-inch SBR, and they wanted to make sure that it can perform well. Since they are a patron, I thought, yeah, why not? You requested it. You guys do help offset the operating costs of my channel by helping us out here at NFAREVIEW. So certainly we'll run it on this rifle just for you. But let's go ahead and cover the adapter here, as I'm sure some of you are wondering about that, and then we'll go ahead and hit the range real quick. I'll try to keep this brief. Hold on real quick though, show a close-up of the blast baffle. The 718 Inconel blast baffle in here, you can see has been ported quite a bit, and I assume they did that to mitigate overpressurization of the gas system on a direct impingement AR. I mean, it's pretty much ported completely through. So that's just gonna act more like a sacrificial baffle there before it hits the 17.4 real baffles in front of it. So I'm betting that's why they did that, so you didn't have it too corked up. So I'm kind of curious to see not only what it sounds like at the muzzle, but at the shooter's ear. So I'm curious to see what it does as far as adding gas pressure. I'm assuming this is going to act more like a blast deflector and kind of send the sound downrange. I'm hoping we don't get a lot of pressure out of the ejection port. But moving back to the adapter here, it's very simple. Okay, you don't need a degree in engineering to figure this out. So just screw this on, and then it's got spanner tabs around the whole circumference of the adapter. Now, it doesn't ship with one, and they do mention in the manual that I briefly scanned that they do sell an optional YHM wrench. But if you're like me, bear with me here, you have organizer boxes full of random tools and wrenches and adapters from all the suppressors that you've already purchased. I really have no idea. This might be from Bowers Group. I don't know, but it's just a basic spanner, and it does correspond perfectly with the spanner tabs on their adapter. I think you might be able to get away with one of those AR-15 multi-tools for the stocks and the barrel. That might have, I don't have one here in the studio, it's in the garage, but I think that might work as well. So what you want to do is just get that nice and tight, okay, because you don't want this to come loose when you're screwing around with it at the range. Once these things heat up, the metal's going to expand, it might become loose. If you were going to run this full time in the QD configuration, I would probably put some sort of rock set on there, but just be aware that when you start digging around with rock set, changing it over to a different adapter is going to be kind of a pain. And then of course, these are this adapter is able to be used with their legacy mount. So the looks have changed on their adapters over the years. Since 2005, I believe, they started with this type of system. The looks have changed up here, but the Acme threads and the actual tabs that interlock with the notches on the back of the mount have gone unchanged. So if you already have a safe full of their flash hiders on other hosts, you can certainly just use this on it. Nothing has changed there. Only the front area of these have changed. In fact, I believe on this one from the last review, yep, it is different. So this one's closed off. This one has more of a strike face on the front of it, but of course both will work. Let's go ahead and throw on. Super simple, and through my experience, these do not back off, and they're super simple. See, look, I didn't get it tight enough. So you really got to wrench that adapter on there, otherwise you are going to have issues pulling the suppressor body off the adapter at the range. So off camera, I'll just use that wrench and pull that off. But significantly shorter here. Let's hold up this full-size turbo to the base of the flash hider adapter, and you are knocking off, what is that, 1.5 inches, 2 inches or so? I don't know. I haven't looked at the math up there compared to the full-size can, but it is definitely shorter. This is a pretty compact little guy. Now, again, if I was going to leave this on here, I would definitely remove the flash hider, throw this guy on there with some rock set, and just make a uber compact little SBR, which I might do for its permanent life in my safe. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Sweet looking little keep it simple stupid rig. All right, I think we've gone long enough here in the studio. You guys have a pretty good grasp on the new Turbo K. Let's go ahead, pack some gear up, hit the range, and see what it can do.
No ear protection. Let's see what it sounds like. Wow. Wow. I'm genuinely shocked on how good that sounded on a 10.5. Oh man, that's awesome. Not loosening.
Well, I hope that was a fun video to watch. Certainly had our challenges out here today while trying to film. I can't even see out of my Oakleys right now. They're so fogged up. It was really humid this morning, and then mid-filming, huge thunderhead came in, huge cell. Lightning started hitting all around. I ended up throwing all my crap in the truck and had to wait it out for about an hour. Those of you that follow along on Facebook and Instagram saw the behind-the-scenes post I was doing while I was bored trapped in my truck. But I did get all the scenes shot that I needed, and I must say I am super impressed with this suppressor, especially at this price point. I would feel comfortable paying double what they're asking all day, every day. I think what I was most shocked about today, I mean, obviously it sounded good on a 16-inch when I was shooting it on the 16-inch Ruger. This setup here, just a basic, keep it simple, stupid setup. I know it is on a full auto lower right now, but let's just say it had the sag on there already. What an amazing setup. Direct impingement, 10.5, zero discomfort in my right ear. My AAC M4 2000 probably meters quieter at the muzzle, hurts my ear when I shoot it on a 10.5 without ear protection on. So I don't know exactly what they did here, but the flow path is a perfect balance of sending the concussion downrange away from your ear to the point to where it sounds like a suppressor that should meter quieter than they're describing. And then as a shooter, it was super enjoyable. Now I did wear ear protection for a lot of the scenes. That's just occupational hazard. I can't be expected to stand out here and shoot the 300 rounds that we did go through today on and off camera without some sort of ear protection. And whether or not it sounded good or not, that's just not a smart thing to do. But when I was not wearing ears, in this configuration, 10.5, without a doubt, zero discomfort. Super impressed. I did have some gas blowback. That's going to be indicative of a 10.5 inch that's now been corked up with a suppressor. It wasn't unbearable. I've certainly had worse, especially even with 16-inch barrels. But I just want to note it. So plan ahead for some sort of gas mitigating charging handle. I do not have the Radian SD on here, so considering I have a whole bunch at home, I should have probably put it in here. Flash mitigation did a great job. When I did the downrange scenes, and I couldn't get the mount off of the flash hider, so I ended up just removing the entire flash hider itself. So on the downrange scenes, you are seeing a just threaded bare muzzle. So fireballs, I haven't seen the footage yet. I'm about to go home and edit it. The fireballs probably look pretty massive. And that brings me to my next point. This did not loosen at all. In any scene today, the body did not come loose from the mount adapter, and unfortunately, the mount did not come loose from the QD flash hiders in between hosts unless I let it cool down all the way. That's due to the metal expansion rates getting everything tight. So if you're gonna go to the range, plan ahead to just leave it on your gun, because you're not gonna be able to move it around a lot, even if you have like an oven mitt, okay, to protect your hands. These would certainly melt to the suppressor. It's gonna stay on there. Yes, it's QD, but don't be expecting to take it off every 5 minutes. Once these metals start to expand, it got really tight and hard to remove. So just something I want to note there. As far as the price point, again, I'd pay double for it and sleep well at night. Super awesome product, performed really well. The tone was very low and thuddy, something you don't normally hear with 5.56 cans. Usually they're a more tinny, high-pitched sound. Sounded really cool, looks cool, great price, and performed really well. So definitely stamp of approval for me and my channel. I'm still shocked how it performed. It blows my mind. It performed really well. So that pretty much wraps it up on my ending thoughts on the Turbo K. I want to take a minute and just let you guys know about another YouTube channel. I recently did a collaboration video with a local YouTuber, Rady's Rides. he reviews cars, so not guns, but he is local. He ended up having me as a guest on his channel, and then he reviewed one of my cars, and then we went to the range after, which was cool. He had never shot full auto or suppressed, so and we did film, and his reaction is pretty priceless and genuine. He's a very excitable guy, very likable. His car channel is like to the car channel world to the gun world for my channel, meaning, you know, how I try to keep everything succinct and factual, and I had the same format, so when you guys come to my channel, you know what to expect. He's the same way. Sets up his format the same every time, and lays it out so it's easy to digest. So go ahead, take a look at his channel. I don't know if my video is up on his channel yet. I don't think it is. A lot of editing to go through. I do feel his pain. So hopefully it's up soon. Go check him out and look at his reaction when he was shooting some NFA items for the first time. As far as Patreon members, thanks guys. All the ammo today was purchased by you guys with the funds that you help with the channel. I don't have a ammunition sponsor anymore, so I use the money on Patreon for the ammunition now, so that definitely helps. We went about through 300 rounds of ammo today. So, matter of fact, I need to hurry up, get out of here, get home, get this video edited, try to get it up tonight for you guys, and I need to do a giveaway for my Patreon members tonight, giving away a bunch of gift cards to you guys. So let's go ahead, get to it. Until next time, click that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next video.